Tell me a ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true. I'll go.
Hello, it's me back for part two. I didn't think people were actually going to be interested in hearing more because, like, the top stitch of that video is a woman who had a demon baby living in her house. A demon baby. So you can understand why I don't know why people want to hear more of my stories. But I got a lot of people. There was 4,000 people that saw my video and counting. And that was really cool that people were like, I want to hear more stories because I have a decent amount. So I'm going to tell a big one that happened to my dad, and it also happened to my mom. So some background, because that is important for the story. My family didn't do like European vacations growing up. We would go to Florida, yes, but we are big history buffs and we are more interested in going on like historical tours of like historically significant sites. So like Jamestown, Yorktown, Williamsburg, Gettysburg, the Alamo, places like that. I ate that up. That was me. I'm like a weird kid. I mean, I'm 28. I'm not a kid, but I was a weird kid and continue to be. So, also we are a big military family. My dad is a Vietnam veteran. I wear his friend who went missing in Vietnam, his POW bracelet, MIA, POW MIA bracelet. And so we're, big into like the military stuff. So one summer we decided to go to this place called Mackinac Island, which is in Michigan. You can only get there once you get up to Mackinac City. You have to take like a ferry that's like 30 minutes to the island, and it's old. It was the site of a Revolutionary War battlefield. Very historic, very haunted, and it's stunning. No cars are allowed on the island. It's all original like architecture. Like they use horse and buggies as like their Ubers. I mean, it's so freaking pretty. So yeah, it's really, really cool. And part of the haunted is that right below the Revolutionary War fort that is right on like the green when you get off the ferry, is a massive green space where people like play like frisbee and like I'm sure pickleball now, but it's been a long time since I've been there. And it was a ancient Indian burial ground that in like the early 1900s, they decided, let's just dig them up and dump them in the lake. And so, yeah, that probably doesn't help with the activity on the island. So my parents booked a cottage at the very top of the island, which is like a 2-mile bike. Most people bike around the island. And or a 2-mile, horse and buggy ride. And so to get up there, you had to pass a battlefield, and it's very dark at night. There's like no lights. And our cottage was actually built on the site of the island's unsolved murder. And our cottage was the cottage right next to where they found the girl's body, unalived. So interestingly enough, nothing ever happened with that. We didn't have any experiences in that place. But yeah, so that was wild. But one night, anyway, we were at dinner, and it was like, it wrapped up at like 11:30. We were staying out. We were just kind of like hanging and talking with people. And my dad was like, okay, we don't want to walk. We don't want to bike. It's dark. There's no trail lights going up to this cabin villa place. So we get a dude that has a horse and buggy. He's like an older guy that's been driving it for 30 years. And he's like, hop on in. So we hop in. It's my dad in the front with him. They're chatting away. The horse, he's not saying much. And then me and my mom in the second row in the back. And then there's one row behind us that doesn't have any seats. And this, I don't know if I said this, but this was the year before my sophomore year of high school. So I was about 15. And my mom and I are just like quiet. We're tired. She had wine. She's like, I'm tired. So my dad, as I said, Vietnam veteran, he's very jaded, skeptic, quiet, occasionally angry. And I hear him gasp. And this shocks me because my dad doesn't believe in anything. I mean, he doesn't believe in anything. He's not scared of things. He doesn't believe in anything. He thinks ghosts are crap. He's scared of people because he's like, people are the greatest animals of all. And I'm like, preach. I agree that. But he shrieks and he's like, who is sitting behind Stephanie? And I was like, no one's sitting behind me, Dad. And he's like, there was somebody sitting behind Stephanie. And we're passing this like big open field, and the driver looks back and he's like, oh, well, what did he look like? And my dad describes him, and he's like, yeah, we have a couple of Revolutionary War soldiers. He's like, I'll be driving people up and down to the cottages, and he'll just sit in the back and he'll just get out when he feels like it. And I'll see him in like my rearview mirror. My dad had nothing to say to this. He did not know how to react. He didn't like know what to say. He's like, I don't know how to explain that, but there was somebody behind Stephanie, and he maintains that to this day. He's like, I don't know how to explain it. Ghosts are total crap, but there was a man in colonial garb behind Stephanie. So on to the next story. The next day, my mom was like, that was so cool. So she goes down and she signs us up for a ghost tour, but it wasn't just a ghost tour. It was like a paranormal ghost hunt. And like a Ghost Adventures, like lockdown style. So we hustle down the mountain, you know. I'm like, we're going by the battlefield, like wave. I'm like, hey, hope I don't see you tonight. Like, no offense. And just in case, you know, the soldier was there. It's like, go rest, be at peace. Anyway, we go down, assemble with the ghost crew. There's like 3 other families, and they tell us that they're going to an old soundstage, which is probably the most active place on the island. So I'm like, this is sick, right? Like, this is awesome. So background, again, they filmed a movie called Somewhere in Time on the Island, and the cast was so insistent that they were having like ghost experiences that they made production shut down and they refused to film in that soundstage or on the island. So they moved production for a movie that was based on the island to be moved off the island because they were so scared. So apparently this soundstage, they go in, they tell us the history. It's built on, shockingly, an old Indian burial ground. And a guy used to work in it named Harvey, and his wife left him for another guy that worked in the soundstage, and he himself and haunts it. And there was something to do with a fire. So they lock us in. It's pitch black. They pull out like all the sound machines and stuff. And I'm like, I don't, always been interested by ghosts, but I'm like, I don't want to get like bit by one, So they start telling us that one of the things that the actors would experience was burns on their body in the shape of a handprint, like 3rd-degree burns. And they were so alarmed by this, they'd have to get medical care. I mean, it was like bubbling burns in the shape of a male handprint. And that was when the cast was like, enough. And so they start turning on the machines. And after about 5 minutes, I hear my mom go, ow, God. And I was like, what? She's like, I think I got bit by something. So anyway, fast forward, we didn't see anything, shocker. And we go back up the mountain, top the island, go to bed. Everything's fine. We think Mom got bit by a bug, whatever. Wake up in the morning, I hear a blood-curdling scream. Run down the hallway. My mom's in the bathroom. She has her nightgown lifted up. I can see her calf. There is a man-sized, I swear on my grandfather's life, there was a man-sized handprint on my mother's, handprint burn on my mother's calf. And, like, complete, like that. She's freaking out. So she's like, go get my camera. My mom was really big into taking pictures on these trips. She had this massive Canon camera. I take a picture of it. And she's like, we need to go down. I think my dad was fishing or something. He wasn't in the cottage. So we go down to the paranormal place and we're like, is this what the actors were experiencing? And they're like, this is exactly what they were experiencing. You need to also go get medical care. We couldn't get into the little clinic on the island. So my mom basically just bandaged it up, put some Neosporin on it. Was very freaked out. And so we get back to the cottage and my dad's there. Where were you guys? And my mom was like, look at this, Stephanie, she's like, this is what it looks like now. Still terrible, but she unwraps it. And then, but she's like, I want to show you how it looked this morning. I go and get the camera, pull up the pictures from the morning. Her leg's there. The pictures that I took are there. The pictures of the burns are not. The burns are not on the leg. The burns disappeared out of the photos. So like you could see them on her leg in person. You couldn't see them on the photos. They were not in a single photo. To this day, they're not in the photos from the trip. All the pictures I took where there should have been a burn are in the memory card, but the burn is out of the picture. So, yeah, my mom had that happen to her. Traumatized her so bad. She still has a scar on her leg. Traumatized her so bad. I mean, this thing would not go away. She won't watch a horror movie. She won't watch a ghost movie if there's anything demonic. I mean, she won't even turn on a Ghost Adventures in the house. And yeah, that was the last time we ever went on a ghost tour, and scared the crap out of all of us. Not enough out of me to never go again, but that also didn't happen to me. But yeah, it disappeared out of the photos. And yeah, my mom had a phantom poltergeist burn on her leg. So I have more stories. This is super fun, just getting to do this. So if you would like to hear, I actually have the biggest one that is bigger than this one, took place in Spain. So if anybody wants to hear it, let me know. If not, thanks for asking to hear more stories. And yeah, these are our ghost adventures.